Offer valid on standard browsers, U.S. only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought, really? But there I was in my empty, quiet house, my laptop on the kitchen counter, and I typed in my name. Looking for a man between the ages of 40 to 60? Sure, why not?
Date My Age is different. With verified profiles, you can feel safe and secure to explore meaningful connections with interesting and mature singles.
Date My Age made it really easy. I could join and view online profiles for free. All of a sudden, my empty house wasn't so quiet anymore. I got so much attention, it just made me feel seen and alive. Date My Age helped me start a totally new chapter in my life.
Find a friend, a lover, a partner at Date My Age. Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Welcome in. We're live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is the spot. Busy hour coming up. 15 minutes from now, we'll get into Game 4, NBA tonight, Oklahoma City and Minnesota. Bottom of the hour, Major League Baseball. Games that are going on, games that we have coming up tonight here. The bracket was released today for the College World Series, of college baseball anyway. And Aaron Moore, VSiN Contributor, joins the program now, and he is on the Progressive Guest Line. He has a couple of stories up right now on the website, vsin.com. Players to watch and also just betting angles here. And Aaron, good to talk to you today. We'll start with this. What did you like and what did you dislike, I guess, when you saw the bracket earlier today?
So, Mitch, I would say the main thing I liked, and we look at it from a betting perspective, is the dominance of the SEC. Those teams belonged in there. There are 13 SEC teams total. There are 8 regional hosts. If you look at this number one conference that separates itself from the rest of the pack, it's good to see all those SEC teams in there. I like that very much. At the back end of it, what I dislike if we look at this field of 64 is it is one of the common arguments we have every year when we have these type of selections. The little guy is getting bypassed. And if you look at the field of 64, Troy should have been in there. Xavier should have been in there. Southeast Louisiana State. So those schools that maybe could have done something as 3 seeds, they don't get in. So you got to take the good with the bad. You get a lot of great teams. As I write in the article, I think there's about 10 teams overall that can win the national championship, and somebody has to be on the losing end of that. And I think that's one of the negatives of this field is a couple of the small guys that should have been there, they don't get in.
So the SEC breaks their record from last year with 11. They get 13 in now. What's this? This is a great idea you have. Share your idea with the audience of what you want a book to put up from a prop standpoint.
Pauly, I would love a book to post a derivative market of the NCAA baseball tournament and make a total 4.5 SEC teams to be in the College World Series, to be one of the 8 teams in Omaha. I think you're going to look at the 4 that were there last year and say, wow, this year you might even get 6 teams in there. That's how dominant it is. So I'd love to see a book. Give me that total, 4.5 over under. SEC teams, I'm taking the over with a big smile on my face.
Okay, well then give us like the top 3 or 4 then that you're absolutely convinced that will make it out of the SEC.
Yeah, Mitch, I'm going to tie it back to the college basketball tournament, which we're more familiar with. Think about when Selection Sunday came out. We said, I can see 4 number 1 teams making it to the Final Four, and obviously that happened. Of the teams to go to Omaha, it's going to be very difficult for Arkansas not to make it, for Vanderbilt not to make it, for Auburn not to make it. Those three teams in particular, I think, get a great movement into Omaha. LSU, which I like, and I write about them in the article. I liked them in the preseason. I still like them now. You get them about plus 650. Only issue with their regional is Dallas Baptist is in there, and they're a live dog. Dallas Baptist is a live dog. Ultimately, the Baton Rouge regional will go to the Clemson regional for the super regional winner going on to Omaha. And I do think Baton Rouge, in this case, Louisiana State, can beat Clemson and get to Omaha. So as I said, give me 6 teams of the SEC in the field of 8. I think it's a good chance of happening.
Can the ACC make a strong push like they did last year?
A push, I don't necessarily know a strong push total, but UNC, Pauly, is the top team on the odds board outside the SEC, and they're around that 8.5, 9-1 area. UNC is a very good team. They have 2 great pitchers. They have Jake Knapp and Jason DeCaro, 2 very good pitchers. They have a great catcher, one of the best catchers in the country, Luke Stevenson. So I do think they can get to Omaha. The Chapel Hill winner will play the Eugene winner, and that's Oregon. I also like Oregon. Oregon is one of those longer shot teams I like. But yeah, going back to the question, Pauly, is it the ACC? I think it's more about how far can UNC or Florida State take the ACC.
Okay. Well, is there a team on the futures board, right, to win the entire thing worth betting, in your opinion, then, that would not be from the SEC?
Geez, not from the SEC, I'm going to go with Oregon in that 18-1 range. I also like Oregon State. I think they're one of the more interesting teams. I'm very surprised, Mitch. They are 40-1 right now. They are the 8th national seed. That means if they do make it to a super regional, they're going to host. So I think they're 40-1
Yes.
because we just don't hear about an independent team in today's college athletics. This team is legitimate. I'm a big fan of Oregon State and what they're able to do with a shortstop like Arquette is they can really hit. They're good defensive team. So outside of those power conferences, I like Oregon with a chance, but Oregon State 40-1, multiple ways to monetize that ticket.
Okay. What else do you have other than like maybe a future ticket to win the whole thing? Best bets that you would consider at this point?
So one of the ways I look at it here, and I put it in the article, is why not look at a futures ticket on Florida State at 35-1 or Oregon State at 40-1. Those 2 teams, pretty high odds, are going to play each other. Theoretically, they're going to play each other in the super regional with the winner going on to Omaha. So I think if you get a ticket on either Florida State or Oregon State right now, you're guaranteeing yourself a pretty high odds ticket in the field of Omaha. So I kind of like doing it that way and maybe moving forward. And one of the keys to getting a ticket like a 40-1 on Oregon State is there's multiple ways to monetize during this tournament. You get the best of 3 in the super regional, you get the double elimination format in the College World Series, and then there's a championship series. So it's good. You don't have to just continually bet against a long shot ticket, that there are different steps in the college baseball tournament, and I like that from a monetization standpoint.
All right, give us some of the players. You also wrote about this. Story is up at VSiN.com. Some of the players that we have to watch that are going to be playing in this tournament.
And if you look at it, I think a lot of people, Mitch, are going to watch this tournament because they're also Major League Baseball fans, and they want to see who's going to be playing in the Major League soon. So let's start out with Florida State. What a great combo they have on the mound and at the plate. Jamie Arnold, 6'1" lefty, could be this year's top college arm taken in the upcoming draft. Really good pitcher. Possibly could lead Florida State to Omaha. And then at the plate, it's Alex Lodis, a very good power hitter that's almost near 400. So Florida State has a great combination. And another combination I want you to keep an eye on is LSU with 2 very good pitchers. They basically have 2 1 starting for them. Cade Anderson, another top option in the draft, and Anthony Iacin, a right-hander. Just two really good pitchers. Why I like LSU is you can run those two guys out there, and you're probably giving yourself a chance to win back-to-back games. Those are the two guys I like. And if we go a little bit off the radar, let's look at a player who's not in the power conferences. J.B. Middleton is a pitcher for Southern Miss. Right-hander, very likely could be a first-round pick. What a fantastic record he had this year, 10-1 in 15 starts. So he's legitimate. He is a major league arm playing for Southern Miss, and the Golden Eagles are a good team to talk about in terms of this tournament. They are always one of those groups outside the Power Four that we expect to go to Omaha. So they have a good chance with J.B. Middleton pitching for them.
Aaron, that was excellent information, dynamite analysis as always. Thank you for the time and good luck with the bets. We'll be in touch, okay?
Thanks, guys. Good luck to you.
There you go. Follow Aaron on X. He's at Pub Relations Prof. And, again, two different stories up today at VSiN.com talking about best bets, futures, players to look at in College World Series. By the way, we're going to be going there.
Damn right. That's why we'll be in touch. The 12th through the 14th, we're live from Rocco's in Omaha and hanging out with Money Moves and doing our show. Normal spot Thursday, Friday, and then a special show Saturday, which is
9 to noon there.
9 to noon there.
So if you're going to be,
Yes,
if you're there in Omaha, a fan of one of these teams, whatever the case might be, we're going to be doing 3 to 6 in the afternoon local time. That's the regular slot that we do here, and then the show on Saturday morning will be 9 until noon. So bucket list for many, many people, and it's going to be a lot of fun when we're there, doing it from Rocco's, like you said.
Did you see that lunatic at the Pacer game dressed up as a racer in the front row?
Yeah.
What was he doing? He's holding the helmet during the whole game. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, I mean, he really committed to the bit with it being an Indy 500 weekend.
Oh my God!
On the same day as the basketball game, I guess. How about this? A horse named Follow the Money just cashed.
Oh, really?
At the number 7 at Horseshoe in Indy.
There you go.
Very good. And Nick Martinez, third time through the order. Royals just scored 2 runs off of him.
Good job. Smarter bets start with VSiN Pro. Now's the time to join. Lock it in. 14 months, less than 50 cents a day. Promo code PRO. Every best bet, every host, every guest. The morning email from Bill 80, the betting splits from DK and Circa, the dog videos, the bullpen numbers and trends from Mackinnon, and get ready for the NFL betting guide as well. It ends May 31st. Don't miss out. VSiN.com/subscribe. Promo code PRO. Sign up now. VSiN.com/subscribe.
So the Royals to score more than 1.5 runs in that inning, it was plus 350 in that range. To score 1 run, they were about plus 115, maybe a little bit higher than that. And Perez with a 2-run shot. Sac fly, 6-3 right now, end of the 7th. Cincinnati leading. The thing was there, Nick Martinez, third time through the order. He was brilliant for the first 6 innings, but his ERA is higher than 10 on the year, the third time through.
Ohtani, bye-bye. Ohtani led off the game with a home run.
Did he go yard?
Yeah.
Second straight game with a leadoff home run, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll hit Game 4, Timberwolves, Thunder, game coming up next. A lot to look at, a lot of player props to consider for tonight, next year on VSiN.
Offer valid on standard browsers, U.S. only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought, really? But there I was in my empty, quiet house, my laptop on the kitchen counter, and I typed in my name. Looking for a man between the ages of 40 to 60? Sure, why not?
Date My Age is different. With verified profiles, you can feel safe and secure to explore meaningful connections with interesting and mature singles.
Date My Age made it really easy. I could join and view online profiles for free. All of a sudden, my empty house wasn't so quiet anymore. I got so much attention, it just made me feel seen and alive. Date My Age helped me start a totally new chapter in my life.
Find a friend, a lover, a partner at Date My Age. Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
This is your before and after story, where your first steps towards a new life-changing career begin. Southeastern College can take you there. We offer in-demand hybrid and online programs with hands-on training. led by in-field career professionals and career services to put you on the path to a rewarding and fulfilling future. This is where your transformation begins. Southeastern College. Your future is bright. Visit sec.edu to get started.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Game 4 tonight, Western Conference Finals, Minnesota hosting Oklahoma City after they pounded them on Saturday night by 40 points. And I thought the game was over in the first quarter. Some others would say maybe second quarter around halftime. Regardless, tonight, Oklahoma City now laying 3 in this game. And the total is as high as 219.5. That's here at Circa. Most books have, BetMGM's also 219.5. BetMGM's also at 3.5 on the game tonight. I clearly do not anticipate the Wolves to have that kind of a performance overall again, but yet I'm not going to be surprised if they win the game.
Yeah.
So I'm not betting on Oklahoma City tonight on the zigzag. I brought this up. Here's what I want to happen. I'm not betting on this to happen, but I want the Wolves to kind of blow them out again by, let's say, 15. And then the Thunder go back home. Again, this doesn't mean it's going to be a winner, but I'd like Oklahoma City to be laying like 6.5 maybe in Game 5. And then I'd probably bet Oklahoma City first quarter, first half, and for the game. Because there is something here, right? I mean, the home road differences between both these teams, like that exists.
Well, it's been big with OKC.
Yeah.
They haven't been the same team at all offensively. That's the thing. They've been atrocious offensively in these road games. It didn't happen against Memphis, but again, Memphis doesn't play any defense. They were out with their star player, and they didn't beat a top 3 seed in the West since January. And then you're down 30? And then you only win by 2 when you're a double-digit favorite and don't have Ja? Okay, you swept them, all right. Then you go to Denver, right? You spank them in Game 2. You come back, they beat you in Game 3. You only score 104 points in overtime. You win a ugly game, which was that quick turnaround, ridiculous Sunday afternoon game after the Friday night went to overtime, 92-87. And then they blasted you in Game 6, and you only scored 107. And then the debacle, what happened in Game 3. Uh-huh. So it's 16 fewer points per game in the playoffs compared home-road. And also sometimes the defense doesn't translate. And it certainly didn't travel with what Minnesota did. So the question is this real, where we found something and changed what we're doing defensively? Physical, tough, man-to-man defense. Get away from more zone, and they're not going to shoot 20 or 40 from 3 again, but they got good looks in OKC. They just didn't go in.
They were not going in. They were, again, some of those shots where I think they were a little bit unlucky with, and a couple of things where, again, I don't know what's going to happen tonight, so it's not worth me betting before the game starts. That's one. I don't know if the shots are going to be going in for Minnesota. Nobody does, right? That's why it's called gambling. The other one is, how aggressive is SGA going to be?
Well, that's right, but also what does it look like if he doesn't get calls? Meaning free throw line.
Right, that ties into it, right?
There were a lot of people celebrating on social media, and then you heard the Timberwolves fans with their chant too. It's a whole different ball game if they're not calling the touch ticky-tack stuff.
So that's why, again, it's to me personally not worth a bet going in, because if SGA is going to have 11 free throws at halftime, then if I'm going to be on the Wolves, I'm probably a dead man walking. Look at your chances.
Right, sorry. Look at the series in the East. Brunson's been in foul trouble in a couple games. Cat, a lot of guys have been in foul trouble.
That's right.
You can't handicap that. A team has never won the title if losing a playoff game by 40 points. That's what they're up against too. So a team has won the title losing by 39, but a team has never won the title getting blasted by 40 or more. So now OKC faces that. But I like Alexander Walker over again with his points. I thought Terrence Shannon was excellent. He's only 3.5. I expect Finch to come back and give him some minutes.
I think you have to, right?
And now I can't recommend Randall over because how he hurt us, but did have that loser in Game 2. But then he bounced back and he was awesome. So, with the exception of one game, Randall has been Superman in these playoffs, and he's only 18.5 as well.
Then bet on him again. Then.
Yep.
To go well.
So read rebounds or what?
Yeah.
How you want to attack it with some of these other props?
Well, you brought up Alexander Walker. So a couple things with him. It's 8.5 points. 17 points in Game 2, 12 points, and he only played 18 minutes in the Game 3 blowout, but he has now recently found his shot. So you have to like that. You have to be encouraged by that because he was giving this team essentially nothing on offense for too long of a stretch during these playoffs, in my opinion. 3-0 over his points prop against Oklahoma City. I like this guy going into the series, and it's cash in all 3 games. I think you have to ride it out tonight again, even though that money has been coming the other way on the under. Naz Reid over 6.5 rebounds at around plus 125 tonight. He's had exactly 8 in all 3 games so far. He's averaging 12.3 rebounding chances per game. And again, if you go back in the regular season, I will have to again tell you that in the 4 games that they played in the regular season, Gobert and Randall missed 3 of them, but Reid had 11, 11, 14, and 8 rebounds in order, so 6.5 plus money. I think I got to bet it again with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
How high do you want to go with Shannon tonight? Because you can find alt numbers on him. You can find 5, you can find 10.
What is he to score? Is it 12 available? 12 or more? What's 10?
Get it for you in a second.
10 points? Yeah,
10.
Not bad.
10's available.
Yeah.
You can go up to 20 if you want on him, from what I understand.
Yeah, and a lot of those same-game parlays hit from a Minnesota standpoint in the last game.
Here you go.
Because so many guys went off.
Plus 425 at 10-plus points. 25-1 for Shannon to score 20-plus points. You'd have to get another blowout
big.
tonight.
Yeah, that's big.
And it's got to be an early blowout, like it was the other night. You got to basically have a carbon copy of game number 3.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing with your boy Gobert? What do you think of Gobert now?
What is there to think of him?
Limit the minutes and get him off the floor, right?
Yeah. What do you want to do with the game tomorrow night?
Neesmith is now a game-time decision.
That's big.
Pacers 2.5. I think this is backwards, as you said earlier. Why are the Knicks 5 and 6 at home, but Indiana's only 2.5?
Right. And the way it played out the other night, last night, the Pacers should have won the game. They should have covered the game.
That's right. I think they bounce back, and I think it's just like the Cleveland series. You win the first 2 on the road, you lose game 3 at home, you come back, respond, and then have a chance to go to the Garden and close them out, and you've won 6 straight road playoff games. They were awful. By their standards, they only scored 100 points. They still led by 20.
Mm-hmm.
Cats saved their season. It was going to be tough. You got to come back, short turnaround, and say this series should be over to blow a 20-point lead. But Cat, who went off and had 20 points in the fourth quarter, was the difference. And I just don't know who knows what Tibbs is going to do. That's the other thing. Who's he's playing? How many minutes? Who's coming in off the bench? And you can't ignore the fact that their 2 best quarters have been with Brunson on the bench in foul trouble. Can't believe it.
I would agree.
So the big takeaway there is, hey, get other guys involved. We're at our best when everyone is shooting and you're not, a ball stopper as good as you are. But everyone has to eat here.
So then if Neesmith, let's say that he can't go for a second here. His points prop tomorrow night is either 11.5 or 12.5 at different books. So if he can't go, then who would you bet on? Who would you want to bet on right now to step up and fill the void?
Nembhard.
Yeah, he's 11.5.
And then it flips from game 2 to game 3. Toppin went over his rebounds and points. Turner didn't play well. It was flipped when they won game 2 at the Garden. I think Toppin was minus 16, and Turner was great in that game.
How about this?
So I would look at those guys, and I would expect Halliburton to be a lot more aggressive then too.
How about Ben Shepherd tomorrow night? His points prop is 2.5. If there's no Neesmith, Ben Shepherd's not going to get a couple of looks at a 3. I'll see if I can find a 3-point prop as well. It's juiced over. It's like minus 150, 2.5 points. That's one guy who I think will definitely have chances there if there's not going to be a Neesmith involved in the game. But you're also making a bet right now, kind of hoping you definitely, if you bet him, you want Neesmith not to play in the game.
And then will Hart continue to come off the bench now? Is he going to start Robinson and then play Hart props under? 2 of the 3 props stayed under.
I don't know, man. I
need more McBride too, I think.
Yeah, but I need Hart 38, 40 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
He's too valuable. You saw it late last night. Guy was all over the court again. You can't have that guy sitting on the bench. I trust that dude.
Yeah.
So, but
he tried everything.
I know he did.
A Landry Shamet sighting. I couldn't believe it. And it actually gave him a little lift. Introducing the $500 trifecta from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. All you need to do is open a GBank Visa Signature credit card, first 90 days deposit, and play through $1,000 at First Bet to trigger the $500 trifecta, $200 in cashback rewards on your GBank credit card. First Bet will give you a $100 deposit match, and VSiN will give you a free VSiN Pro subscription through August 31st, $200 value. The $500 try from GBank, First Bet, and VSiN. Go to VSiN.com/GBank, VSiN.com/GBank. One-time promotion limited to customers opening a new account. In response to this offer and will not apply to request to convert existing accounts. Apply today. Go get a great offer.
Ben Shepard's three-point prop tomorrow night is a half. It's either $1.20 or $1.25 to go over. Does he score more than 2.5 points without hitting a three?
Yeah.
You going to get to the free throw line, hit a couple of field goals? I don't know. Up next, we'll update the live betting numbers in Major League Baseball, break down the most wins in the month of May market coming up, hit the NHL as well. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, so a loaded card in Major League Baseball here today on Memorial Day. I'm going to have to go back and read the recap of the Rangers-Blue Jays game. Jacob deGrom threw 81 pitches, 5 1/3, 0 strikeouts. That guy had 0 strikeouts, and he recorded 16 outs overall? That's stunning. 5 games in the books, all 5 games to the under.
Damn.
The
1-0 White Sox in the 8th?
Yep.
Come on, Mets.
The Reds-Royals game is over, meaning it's over the total. And that was supposed to be batter conditions today. Now, here's your update for the most wins in the month of May. I'm on Tigers at 16-1. They won today against the Giants. They have 16 wins. So the Tigers, the Cardinals, who lost today to Baltimore, and the Twins all have 16 wins. Those 3 teams are behind the Phillies with 17. The Phillies have 3 against the Braves starting tomorrow. That's Walker against Strider, by the way. Thursday is Wheeler against Sale. And then they have 2 against the Brewers. The Tigers have 2 more against the Giants. There's a day off in here. And then 2 against KC, including, you ready for this? We get Skubal and Bubic on Saturday.
Oh, really?
That is the pitching matchup of the year.
Damn right.
The Twins have Tampa 3 times, including tonight. It's Paddock versus Littell. And they're at Seattle twice. Cardinals lost today, so they still have 16. 2 more against Baltimore, 2 more on the road against the Rangers. Updated odds this morning at DraftKings. They take them off once baseball starts. Phillies minus 245.
Yeah.
I need that team to lose tomorrow, man. I need them to lose like twice against the Braves to have a chance here. We have a small pulse. We're not dead yet with the Tigers. So there's that.
Disappointed in the Padres. The Friars are scuffling. They're $1.55 tonight, going against Weathers and the Marlins. Merrill and Tatis are in big-time slumps. Big time.
Mm-hmm.
And not a lot of long balls with Machado either. Yankees pitching, number 1 starter ERA, number 1 run differential, 6-game lead now in the division. They're $1.80 in Anaheim against the Angels. I love the Taylor Ward prop, which I'll get to coming up. Pirates taking on the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks scuffling now with a losing streak. Marte has done well against Haney. And it's Nelson, who's a $2 favorite at home against the Pirates, 9.5. Couple of team totals over now. What got into the Pirates?
Well, let me expand on that game for a second here because Haney has good numbers on the year. 2.91 ERA. The FIP's a little bit higher, but a run higher, 4.04. His strikeouts per 9, down like it's below 7, which is bizarre for him. Walks per 9, about 3.5. Been pretty lucky with the BABIP, which is at 234. Here's the problem. The Diamondbacks against lefties, they're about top 10, top 12 in some of the advanced metrics, but they have the lowest K rate against lefties in all of Major League Baseball, only 16%. Haney's K prop tonight is 3.5. That's the same thing with that Padres game you talked about, because Weathers is going for Miami. His K prop is 3.5, juice big time to the over. Starting lefties are 10-5 under their K prop against San Diego on the year, and the Padres have the third lowest K rate against lefties, and they're about middle of the pack, WRC plus and WOBA. It's kind of interesting to see a total of 3.5 for both Haney and Weathers, based on who they are, who they've been in their careers, and but that makes sense, right? Baked into how good those teams are against left-handed pitchers.
You bet the Panthers tonight, the hockey?
I have not yet, but I might. I'm just mad at myself that I never bet them to sweep after the first game.
You called it. You said this thing's over.
It's 5-1.
You said that. You've seen enough, right? So they've lost 15 in a row in the conference finals. Florida's outscored Carolina 16-4. 4 in a row, they've scored at least 5 goals. That's the 4th time in the playoffs that's happened in 30 years. 4 teams in history have come back down 0-3, the last to do with the LA Kings in 2014. Go to VSiN.com. Jonathan Davis, who's on the show tomorrow with a plethora of props. He's got a bunch of props up there. We're on the same page. Right back with Anderson, under 23.5 saves. The goalie change didn't even work. Nothing's worked for him as well. And maybe they chase him in this one. Bennett, anytime goal, which Davis likes, plus 210. He had 2 goals in the last game. Rodriguez to have an assist and over 1.5 points as well. Also making the case for a blowout and Panthers team total as well. But ton of stuff up there as well. I found this interesting today. This is courtesy of Sportsnet. Panthers head coach Paul Maurice was asked why this team is so good and why the chemistry is so good.
Have you ever shotgunned a beer?
Not yet.
Have you ever been to church?
Not church.
But something spiritual?
Yeah.
Would you shotgun a beer in church? Okay, that doesn't make you a hypocrite.
Right.
There's a context and a place for all things. I will tell you they're honest. These men are honest. So that personality, it's all real. I hated Matthew Tkachuk. It's a little too strong when I was in Winnipeg, right? And then you meet him and you go, oh my God, what a wonderful human being. Remember I've said these guys are different. Barkov's personality is our room, right? And then there's Sam Bennett. Sam and his wife are, raising money for cats and dogs. They're really, really nice people. And then the puck drops, right? Sometimes you say a prayer, sometimes you shotgun a beer. It's kind of like our team.
Yeah, very good. Sometimes you shotgun a beer, sometimes you say a prayer. That's good. We've shotgun a beer, but you don't do it in church, right? But that's
the last time you shotgun a beer would be when?
Oh, boy.
High school?
High school?
I shotgun beers in high school, yeah, for sure. Probably the last time I did it.
15 years ago?
15?
Yeah.
That's more shocking than high school. Come on.
Yeah, come on. But that's a great answer, and also about chemistry. And like Brindamore said, these guys are pushing us around and bullying us, and there's nothing we're doing or can do about it. Yeah. And they're taking it to us every game, and that's just been getting their ass kicked. And
who are you going to be looking to bet? If we get Edmonton, Florida, who are you going to be looking to bet to win the series?
Oh, God. What I said earlier, though, the more I think about it, Toronto had them. I think if Stolarz doesn't get hurt, they win that series. And I know 67 and all the other stuff we talked about, but they led that series 2-0. They blew Game 3.
Yeah, they also got embarrassed a couple times.
They did, but I think they win Game 3 with Stolarz, and then Wall was terrible in a couple of those games. But I'm going to have to respect the champs and would take Florida. Oh, it's up, by the way. It's a pick'em at William Hill. It's a pick'em.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I like Edmonton.
Yeah, with home ice, yeah.
Yeah, I like Edmonton.
I got to see a little more out of Skinner. And first things first, got to get that win tomorrow. But, hey, we can play defense, too. I love what they're saying. I love what they're doing, other than that fluke in the third period of Game 1.
Right.
They've been awesome.
Now, let me go to the NBA here for a second. And these series have been, tricky to figure out. I've been wrong, certainly, on a couple of them. At this point, though, even if Oklahoma City gets blown out again tonight, if we get Oklahoma City and the Knicks, how do the Thunder not absolutely bury that team? They just choke? They're missing all their threes?
Why?
Oh, Oklahoma City is clearly way better than the Knicks. They're not even. I think it should be a bloodbath. That should play out.
$5.
That should be a sweep or a 5-game series. Doesn't mean it would be. I thought it'd be a 5-game series against Denver. Was wrong on that. The Knicks are not close to the Thunder. Knicks Wolves, I have no idea how that would play out. I think Pacers Thunder could be the nuts. I think with the way that they would play, I think the Thunder would play that style with them, and how deep they are. I think that's a great series. The other stuff, not really, not so much.
At DraftKings, OKC is $5 against both teams. The Timberwolves are $1.20 against both teams. If Minnesota shocks OKC, and OKC's an $8 favorite now, adjusted series price, the Knicks would have home court.
Yeah.
But I think the Pacers win tomorrow. See what happens with Nesmith. I think Indiana would have a decent shot against OKC.
I think decent shot is...
But he just... the Knicks got a lot of guys that can score, but you just think you go back... I know it was a regular season, but
it's a really bad matchup for them.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
they played them at home, and they were down 30 early.
It was a bad matchup for the Knicks against the Celtics in the regular season, you know?
Well, that's true. Other teams can lose their minds. That's absolutely possible.
Right. I mean, the Celtics blew multiple games up 20-plus points.
Yeah, they choked. And you got to give the Knicks a lot of credit, though, for being resilient. That is nuts to do it 3 times in a span of 2 weeks.
No, and I'm telling you, I brought this up to begin the show today. Based on what happened last night, if the Knicks come back and win this series, if I'm a voter, because you can bet on Eastern and Western Conference Finals MVP, if I'm a voter, I can't forget what Cat did last night. They are dead. That series is 3-0 if Towns does not play like that in the fourth quarter. He's 20-1 to win East Finals MVP. That can't be right. There's no way he could be 20-1 and Brunson is plus 175.
He can't be.
Don't care what happened in game 2.
They've had the 2 best quarters of the series with him on the bench.
That's right.
That's outrageous.
Yeah. So we'll get to our best bets coming up next. In Pocket Plays here and Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Offer valid on standard browsers, U.S. only.
When I heard about Date My Age, I thought, really? But there I was in my empty, quiet house, my laptop on the kitchen counter, and I typed in my name. Looking for a man between the ages of 40 to 60? Sure, why not?
Date My Age is different. With verified profiles, you can feel safe and secure to explore meaningful connections with interesting and mature singles.
Date My Age made it really easy. I could join and view online profiles for free. All of a sudden, my empty house wasn't so quiet anymore. I got so much attention, it just made me feel seen and alive. Date My Age helped me start a totally new chapter in my life.
Find a friend, a lover, a partner at Date My Age. Get 60% off when you join at datemyage.com today. That's datemyage.com to connect with thousands of singles worldwide. datemyage.com.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're on.
All right, lot to recap here. This was the League One final. Sunday at Wembley. Under 2.5, no problem. 1-0 Charlton. There's also 1-0 today in League Two with Wimbledon beating Walsall. Man City, $1.70 against Fulham. They won yesterday in the Prem. This one stung big time. Sheffield United, Sunderland under 2.5. The goal in the 95th minute to put it over, and Sunderland goes up to the Premier League. Panthers in regulation, easy winner in Game 3. Halliburton, most assists, dead heat. That one, but it gets knocked down. Pacers to win the East 19-1. Killer loss yesterday. That one was tough. We're on life support here with Hurricanes over Stars exacta. Cat, most rebounds in the conference finals. That is now $4. Halliburton, most assists, $2. That is now $6 adjusted. The double, Thunder to win Game 1 in the series, minus 170. Also, no action. Anderson saves under. He did not play in the last game in Game 3. Coming right back with it, though. Anderson is back in goal. I'm with Jonathan Davis on this one. Anderson under 23.5 saves. Who knows? They may chase him again. Panthers to win in regulation, $1.15. And Taylor Ward, over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, prop. 7 bombs the last 15 days. Good breakdown from Joe Osborne. He's gone over this prop 12 of the last 14 and is 4 of 8 against Yarborough. Let's keep it going in the late game coming up.
I put a little bit on him to hit a home run tonight, but nothing worth putting in pocket anyway. Just a little bit of a fun bet. Bad result on Friday night for sure. All those props that I bet on Toppin, I laddered him. They all lost. Bet him to have 5, 6 a couple of times, 7.
And he comes back the next day and goes over.
I had to bet him again.
It's like the Randall Game 2, Game 3.
But I had to do it, though. If I lost that, I had to come back and bet him again, hoping they would cash. They did, but that was a horrible result Friday night, including the Knicks-Yankees moneyline parlay. What did that pay to reverse it?
Reverse it, yeah.
Yeah, the Pacers and the Rockies.
Rockies 280 or something?
Yep.
Just themselves, 290?
Oh, yeah, for sure they were.
Yeah.
Yep, Matherman was no good. The fun same-game parlay at Coors never happened. The Pirates-Brewers first 3 under was a winner from Friday. Good to get that taste out of my mouth. Yuck. Pending Tigers' most wins in May. Broke that down last segment. 16-1. Josh Hart to lead the Eastern Conference Finals in rebounds, plus 550. I haven't done the math on that yet. Don't even know where we stand tonight. Naz Reid over 6.5 rebounds. Got to do it again, plus 114. He's been good to us. We'll do it one more time here as a player prop in that game.
Edge Boost, first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums, or cashback rewards. 100% approval for all betting deposits. You don't have to wait on that wire and pay the outrageous fees. Card never declined. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, promo code FTM. Deposit $25. Edge Boost will match it. Edgeboost.bet, baby.
This probably won't go well tonight for the Angels, by the way, overall, with the pitcher that they have on the mound. Tricky last name to pronounce, but he's got a 5.03 ERA. The FIP is a half a run higher than that. Pauly, his Ks per 9 are below 6, and he's walking more than 4.5 batters per 9. He's also allowing more than 1.5 home runs per 9 innings as well. And he's taking on Yarbrough, like you talked about, one of the reasons why you like Ward tonight. But I'm guessing, you're going to have to pay some juice here. Judge will probably walk at least once in this game is my bet. But he could walk and hit a home run in the same game for sure again in this spot here. And like we talked about a little bit earlier, the Padres and the Diamondbacks are so good at not striking out against lefties who they're facing in this game tonight. Pirates are throwing Haney. Marlins are going to go with Weathers. Weathers, pretty good numbers overall.
Yeah.
On the year.
Judge is $1.70 at DraftKings to walk.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
Yeah.
Or right where it should be anyway. The home run that Ohtani hit, by the way, to lead off the game was an absolute missile.
First pitch.
I mean, he hit it so fast you could barely see the ball leave the bat. It was 115 miles an hour with the exit velocity. O'Neal Cruz hit one yesterday at 122 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
But he cranked it out of there only at 378 feet. Rifled it to right field. So, there you have it. You were very disappointed in Mission Impossible.
I was pissed. Oh, was I angry. I was stunned walking out of the theater. I couldn't believe it. And I couldn't believe, at one point I'm thinking, okay, let's move this along. Now, I did have to go to the bathroom.
When did you?
Late into things.
Okay.
I did have to go to the bathroom because I had a soda. And it's 2 hours and these previews, man.
That's a tip.
I'll tell you.
You got to make sure that you go to the bathroom the last possible second before you go into these things that are 2.5 hours, because you're going to get buried with 30 minutes of previews too.
You're going to get buried with the previews, and late going, it's like, yeah, we can move this thing along, because it's just by that point it's like, oh man, and I know it's, and I know we've both been in some major pictures, but it's hard to pull off. But I thought the acting at the end with the president and the people in the room was corny as
I can see
over
that.
the top as well.
And by the way, I knew
that son of a gun did it. Come on.
It was so predictable. I said it actually to myself what he was going to say when he called him an SOB. I knew those words are coming out of his mouth. It was that predictable.
I don't like Nick. What's his name? I don't like Nick Offerman in that role either. Offerman?
Okay, I like him. He's good, but he's he's the general.
Yeah, come on. He's like a funny guy.
Oh, right.
That's
right.
Oh, was I stunned? Couldn't believe it. I knew something was up when you said, text me as soon as you get out of the theater.
Yeah, I told you that
I go, that's interesting. Why is he saying that? And he didn't come in Friday all like, you weren't gloomy Gus. You held it in. I give you a lot of credit.
I didn't want to spoil it.
Because you could have pissed on the parade. You
I
don't do
could've.
that opening weekend.
No.
You don't come in, everyone's fired up. Hey, you win opening night. Now we're getting ready for the big weekend, and this is going to be a blockbuster, and it's great to go back to the theaters and all this. And then
I got to let it breathe for a weekend at least, you know?
Yeah, the underwater scene lived up to the hype. 20 minutes, excellent. But there's also just a couple moments where it's like between corny and there's just, you're showing off, and it's some of it.
I have several questions. I mean, they didn't piece it together at all several times.
I think there's some poor writing, too.
Yeah.
But you don't expect that from Cruz and that franchise because it's been a home run since, think about that, 30 years. I also think that angle was stupid, too. I don't want to say what it was.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Going back.
I know you're going to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me give you this. Oilers are up 2-1 over the Stars. They're $165 or higher in Game 4. Stuart Skinner has now only allowed one goal through his first 4 wins of the postseason. The only other goaltenders in the modern era since 1944 to allow one or fewer through the first 4 wins of a playoff are from back in 2005, 2004, 02, and 1994. Felix Potvin's on the list.
Oh, he is?
Ed Belfour's on the list, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's it. And again, I don't think Game 1, that third period was not his fault.
No.
Those were dumb penalties. The defense didn't help him out, and it was penalty after penalty.
Well, it's too bad that happened. Number 1, the series would be over. Number 2, you'd have more life with the Conn Smythe tickets that the people have in our audience. He's got good comments, though. He says he's feeling good in there, and he looks like it, and confidence is big. He couldn't stop a beach ball to start out, although they didn't help him out with silly turnovers, and they were always on. L.A. was always on the power play, but he seems locked in right now, and this is where he's at his best. Those numbers are ridiculous. 4, 5, 6, 7.
I really don't think he's going to win the award. I really don't.
Well, I'm also okay, fine, but put that to the side. I'm also rooting for Canada here and rooting for Edmonton to get this
I'd love
done.
to see Edmonton for sure.
It's a great Stanley Cup final if we get the rematch, and I'm rooting for McDavid as well.
Same here.
I want to see this happen.
I want to see guys like McDavid and Draisaitl break through.
Right, and I hate Dallas. I'm being from Minnesota. What Norm Green did.
Well, there you go.
Up and moved them.
No, you had to be gutted as a kid.
Oh, it was devastating.
Or you just entering high school, probably something like that.
Yep. Couldn't believe it.
I don't blame you.
What a tough sign. I remember watching the last game. It was a road game, a tough sign-off. Okay, well, that's it. The Minnesota North Stars are done. They moved to Dallas. It's like, what? You're taking hockey out of Minnesota and putting it – because we didn't have all this. There wasn't all these other –
It's called Hockey State for those who don't know. It's literally called Hockey State.
They up and moved. Oh, was it tough. There was a Stanley Cup run that just happened too.
Of course, early 90s,
John Case, they lost to Lemieux. Oh, it was tough. All right. VSiN Primetime coming up next. Murray and Humans. Maui Matt cashing out. Joe Cirallo, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And VSiN by the book, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Poker Pro Sean Deeb in studio tomorrow. Can't wait. World Series of Poker gets underway. He lost a lot of weight, and it was a prop bet. All these poker pros are crazy with these prop bets. Can't wait to talk to him, Jonathan Davis, Derek Stevens, and Jeff Seeley on golf. Fun show.
Tomorrow's going to be loaded. Good luck tonight, everybody.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.